I've spent dozens of hours and a lot of money building and refining my desk setup over the past couple of years. I've gone through several iterations, each with a specific focus or purpose, and then spent weeks evaluating what works and what I needed to optimize in order to build the perfect workspace. And yet, 95% of the time, this is where I do my work. So why is that? Is it because the space is more open and gets more sunlight? Is it because this dining table has a slightly rustic feel to it, bringing me more in touch with nature so I don't get lost in the tech I review? Or is it because these fake flowers make me feel pretty? Because, yes. Actually, the answer is simple. When I'm sitting over here, I can see my family right over there. They aren't in the shot, but I promise they're real.
You said that like you were lying.
And so, while I have this beautiful desk setup in a space that's dedicated to working from home, I find myself hardly ever using it for the simple reason that I can't see my family while I'm in there. But why did I go through all that trouble to build a home office with a desk setup if I knew that I'd rather be sitting on a dining chair in the living room? Well, the obvious answer is that I didn't know, and that I couldn't have. You see, with the exception of War in the Fallout universe and my admiration for Mahershala Ali, everything changes. When we first moved in here, I didn't have that desk or the PC or most of the stuff that's on the desk now. In fact, I had the space set up as a home recording studio because I used to be a musician and I still thought I was going to make music. Then I rediscovered my love for making video games and I became obsessed with the idea that this is what I was meant to do. To make games and to make videos about them, thereby 2xing the concept of video games.
You're a real genius.
But as it turns out, having two side hustles for the price of one meant that I wasn't making much progress on either one of them, while also robbing me of any time I might have spent with my wife and daughter. Fortunately, I did also have a love for tech, and I was able to pivot my chosen path to what you see now, a YouTube channel talking about tech. Which of course was a great excuse for me to keep upgrading my desk setup over and over. I changed the lighting, the keyboard, the mouse, the monitor placement, the mouse again, and so on, tweaking every variable to try to find out what I liked the most, while still constrained by not having a seemingly unlimited budget like all the other tech channels I was watching. But while I put in a lot of work on my desk setup, I forgot the most important thing. It's not about how much you work on it, but how well it works for you. There's an interesting development that I noticed when looking back over the past iterations of my desk setup. When it first started, it was purely functional, almost clinical in a way. I was focused on optimizing every aspect for the work I was doing, and there wasn't room for anything I deemed frivolous. Sure, there were a few personal touches like this giant Jedi Outcast poster I had made, but even that was there to tell a story and to keep me focused on what my motivation was. But then, over time, I slowly began to add more and more personal and decorative items to the setup until now, where the place is practically littered with stuff like that. I think in some way I was trying to compensate for the priority which I hadn't realized for myself at the time, that being around my family meant more than how well optimized my workspace was. But then, last year, I made the leap and bought this, the M4 MacBook Air. This was, and still is, the single biggest investment I've made in my YouTube career, and it ended up paying off really well in a lot of ways. But the biggest thing it did for me was allow me to finally move out of the home office and into the spaces which were occupied by the people I care about. There was a cynical part of me at first that thought, well, what's the difference? Even if I'm sitting next to them, I'm still working rather than spending time with them. And while that's technically true, that's not what the experience feels like to me or to them. Simply by occupying the same space, even if I'm editing a video while my wife is on TikTok and my daughter's playing Roblox, yes, we're all proud nerds in this family, we still get to be around each other and share little comments and anecdotes about the stuff we're doing, kind of microdosing conversations while we're doing our own thing, which is the only kind of microdosing I get to do now that I'm a family man. That doesn't mean that my desk setup is worthless. Hell, I'm using it right now to film this video, and there will still be other times where I need to get some stuff done that I prefer to do in here. The point of this video isn't that optimizing your workspace is dumb or that the real desk setup was the friends we made along the way. It's that ultimately the thing that's most important about your desk setup isn't what it can do, but rather what it does for you. Does it give you the peace of mind you need to focus and get work done? Does it provide you with a feeling of joy? Do you look forward to using it, or is it just a necessary evil to accomplish what you need to do? Those are the things that make or break a desk setup. Yes, we all get carried away watching desk setup videos on YouTube, thinking we need all the latest gadgets, the fanciest OLED monitor, an overpriced desk mat, and a monitor stand that cost more than my first car. But what we're chasing isn't stuff, it's how those videos make us feel. A lot of desk setup videos are these perfectly curated displays full of cinematic pans and zooms, beautifully color graded, and just amazing to look at. And that's what we want in our setups, the feeling that watching those videos gives us. And that doesn't have anything to do with what's on your desk, but rather how it makes you feel. So I'm not telling you to give up on your desk setup or to trade in your Herman Miller for a foldable IKEA chair in the living room. Back pain is still a real thing. Trust me, I'm old. I'm not even saying that being around people would improve your setup. What works for me isn't necessarily going to work for you. Maybe having a picture of some friends or family on your desk could give you that feeling you're looking for. Maybe it means putting your favorite Pokemon next to your mouse, or keeping some of your grandparents' old books nearby. Maybe it's having a super clean desk, or having it be cluttered with mementos. Whatever it is, all I'm asking is that you stop chasing the latest gadgets, the best specs, or even the best deals, and instead look inside yourself and ask, what makes me feel good? Because that's what makes a desk setup truly perfect. And the sooner you realize that, the sooner we can all stop buying desk mats from Grove Made. Thanks for watching. Peace out.